Elon Musk's company, Tesla, decided to buy $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin and accept Bitcoin in terms of like purchasing their automobiles.
Yes.
It's a huge move.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of ways, it stabilizes crypto.
Yes.
I mean, when you think about it, I don't know if there are any other massive car companies that are openly accepting Bitcoin as currency, but not only accepting it, investing it in terms of like the future of currency.
Yeah.
Right? Huge move.
Right.
Is this strategic or is this the world's richest man doing fun billionaire shit?
I think
is this Batman buying out the Opera House?
I think it's strategic. I think somebody was explaining to me how there's still like, who's this guy, Michael Berry, the guy who called the housing crisis? He's apparently still shorting Tesla. He's like, Tesla's going to crash. This, I think, and I didn't understand the mechanics, but one guy I know who's been telling me to buy Bitcoin since 600, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. He was like, this stabilizes Tesla stocks, and this is going to keep fucking the short people because they're not, this keeps them from falling.
Shit.
And I don't understand the mechanics of that, but I can see how that could be true. I just can't connect the dots. Does that make sense?
That's interesting because even if Tesla doesn't live up to the expectations of the stock price, their holdings in Bitcoin will inflate the company because their cash reserves are going to grow at the same velocity
that makes a ton
of
of
Bitcoin.
Sense. Yeah.
Oy, oy, oy.
Yeah.
Because
go.
No, on Tesla, right now they're valued at every other American car company combined like $834 billion. But I think Elon, we know he's playing a longer game where it's like, it's about the battery, it's about the solar panels, about the home system. So it's like he's buying that time to prove that the value of Tesla is not in just the cars, which apparently they make the money from like selling the credits. Some like
EV credits or something I was hearing about.
So I think that he knows that the short sellers are coming after him. He's doing this to buy time where like the big stuff, all the things that are happening, the Gigafactory are going to prove what the value of Tesla is. It's a tech company. It's a battery company.
So this gives him enough time to increase the value of the company to where it matches the value of the stock. And sometimes where there's a discrepancy right there, that's where you can have somebody win on a short. Right? Obviously, GameStop is a perfect example. It's like the stock was overvalued. We all know it was overvalued. That's why motherfuckers are trying to short it. This is interesting. So he's trying to do things that just pump up the company outside of making cars. It's really brilliant.
That's where he's the GOAT.
Low key, that's what he is. Like how many people invest in Tesla simply because they're like, nah, it's the smartest guy on the planet. He'll figure it out.
That's 100% why I believe in Tesla.
So if he realizes his own celebrity and decision-making is beneficial to the stock price of his company, he's diversifying his company without creating more product. That's fucking brilliant.
That is brilliant.
That is fucking brilliant. If at the end of the day, this is all perception and most of these fucking numbskulls that buy stock know absolutely nothing about the company's dynamics or how much money they're bringing or any of that shit. They're literally doing it because it's cool. Well, what's fucking cool right now? Crypto. I'm going to dump money in crypto and I'm going to do it through Tesla, not my personal money. He could have done it with his personal. This guy's the richest man on the planet. Could have bought $1.5 billion of personal stock. He says, no, Tesla owns that stock.
That's a good point. I also think
playing chess, dude.
And I think he's smart. It's not just his perception. I think he's smart in this because I actually think crypto is a good long-term play. I don't know if Bitcoin is going to be the winner. You and I were starting to text about this. Like, I have not put nearly enough into crypto, but to me, it just makes perfect sense that there will be some global currency.
You said this. This was interesting.
If the world is flat, which it is, countries are all very connected. Why do we still have...
What do you mean by flat?
They say the world is flat. It was a book that was written like 15 years ago, which is basically saying now with the internet, I can connect with somebody in another country in an instant. It's not like before. When I was a kid, a phone call to India sounded like garbage. You're yelling in the fucking phone so they could hear you. You're legit writing letters that are taking a week to get there. Now, email. I can talk to somebody in India just as fast as I can email Dove.
Texting your cousin on WhatsApp.
Texting my cousin on WhatsApp. It is the exact same as if you're right next to me. We're all connected now. Travel between countries is going to get easier and easier. Connectivity
is borderless.
Yes.
So that is often probably the first thing that reduces borders, right? Interconnectivity, interdependence on communication, not even commerce. How can I communicate with these people? Right? Once you start that communication, like culture starts to blend. Like European culture, you go to all these different countries. Yeah, they got their different languages, but I think we've spoken about this podcast. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
They act like they're all like woke because they're so accepting of one another. It's like you all believe the same fucking thing.
You look the same.
You look the same. You act the same. You dress the fucking same. You're not woke. You're not
me
accepting.
accepting somebody from Nebraska.
That's more different.
You're right. You're right.
We are more different
Yeah.
in this country between state and state than they are. 100%.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting play. I wonder
France
if
and Belgium, that's New York and New Jersey. What are we talking about? It's the same shit.
Absolutely.
But as we get more connected, and we're all going to be working from home, I think, relatively soon. You're going to be doing virtual reality meetings.
Yeah.
There's no difference between me and a guy in Indonesia and a guy in Nebraska. It all feels the same.
Yeah.
So to me, you just dropped your fucking laptop.
That's right.
Okay, got it. So to me, it just makes sense that at some point, as everything becomes connected, we have one currency that connects us, and you don't have to exchange. So I don't know if Bitcoin is going to be the one that comes out on top.
Yeah.
But some global currency has to arise.
Yes. Now here's the question. The American government is willing to do whatever it takes to protect the dominance of the American dollar.
Yes.
Historically speaking, we have precedents for this. We have gone to war for it.
Yeah.
We've spoken about the petrodollar on this podcast. Our dollar is backed by the purchase of oil.
Yeah.
Okay? All the oil that is sold by Saudi Arabia is purchased in American dollars. And any country that has tried to sell their oil in a currency that is not American dollars, all of a sudden there's a little insurrection. All of a sudden there's a little war going on, right?
Yeah.
Libya, Iraq, right? I think Libya wants to create like an African currency. I think Iraq wants to sell oil directly to France. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, Hussein, what is it now? Hussein, what's his name? Saddam Hussein, whatever. Tricky ass name. Saddam Hussein is a bad man. We got to go take him out again. So we're willing to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Millions of lives lost over the protection of the American dollar as the world's currency. Because it is the world's currency.
Yeah.
Right? I cannot fathom that the United States government, as diabolical as it is in its decision making, okay, zero regard for human life.
Yeah.
I cannot fathom that they would be completely okay with Bitcoin becoming the world's currency if they did not have a stronghold over Bitcoin.
Yeah, whatever, like, we talk about playing chess, whatever chess we think we're playing, the U.S. government is playing on a different level, and the Chinese government probably, that's their competition. They're probably playing on a very high level. But yes, the governments will, I think, essentially decide which crypto comes out on top.
Yes.
But I do think that's, again, it's just logical to have a global currency.
So
that's all
it is 100% logical, and we do have one. It's called the U.S. dollar, and they would be giving up the U.S. dollar. Now, this is what, again, maybe the United States government or intelligence knows something about Bitcoin, right, that the average person does not. You know, maybe there are people who started Bitcoin. I mean, if I started a currency, you better believe I might hide a little for myself. We don't know.
We're going to start a currency. We'll get it.
We'll start a currency one. But I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, if we started a currency, right?
Yeah.
I would make some Bitcoins for myself and just hold them just in case some shit popped off. I'd like to have some Bitcoins if they were, incredibly lucrative. Would you not?
100%.
Apparently, there are these stashes of Bitcoin that people know and say exist, but they don't know how much they're worth, right? So I think in Bitcoin, their version of like the penny, but it's like 1/1,000,000th of a Bitcoin is called a Satoshi. Is that familiar? Have you guys heard of that?
Isn't that's named after the creator, I guess?
Maybe,
Isn't
but
that
apparently
some Japanese dude.
Yeah, apparently he has some stash worth billions of dollars somewhere, but nobody can account for it. So who knows if all of a sudden in the future we find out that there's way more Bitcoin out there than we thought, and it's way less controlled than we thought, and then everybody goes, oh shit, I thought that this was a controlled substance, and you have to mine for it, and it costs all this money to mine for it, and blah, 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 and you realize that your thing is worth absolutely nothing. Maybe that could happen. I just cannot fathom that the United States government, with all of its power and control and influence around the world, would just allow a global currency to pop up without having a stake in it.
It's going to be
mind-boggling.
It's going to be tough to control is the only thing I can think of. I mean, they'll probably find their way, but Bitcoin seems like that's part of the beauty of it is uncontrollable. And if you're like you want to get rid of the Fed, one of the big things you don't like that the Fed did is they made it a fiat currency. If we go to Bitcoin, as far as we know, this could be bullshit like you said, but as far as we know, there's only X amount. So that is your new gold standard. There's only X amount of gold on Earth. There's only X amount of Bitcoin on Earth. This is the new. Now we're backed.
That's
by
what
Bitcoin.
we assume.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It could be full of shit. It could be wrong.
Right.
And there's validity to that. But that is the beauty of Bitcoin. If you're like a fuck the Fed guy, they can't control Bitcoin as far as we know.
I guess I'm just saying, like, when it comes to big tech, we're like, oh yeah, the United States government is in bed with Facebook, and that's why they let, Facebook kind of do whatever they want because they exchange information with Facebook and everything's good.
Yeah.
Right? We have all this information and data on people in other countries and how they interact and how they might want to vote and how they live their lives, and then we can influence them through this tool. I think that was the big issue with TikTok, right? It was like, whoa. We're the ones that make the social media apps, and then we get all the data from all the other countries. We can't have the Chinese motherfuckers getting data on us. 100%.
Yeah.
Home team. Let's go. It's fucked up, but it is what it is.
You better you than me. The enemy I know is better than the one I don't.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So basically, I just cannot find it. I mean, like, hasn't the U.S. like destroyed any sort of, tax havens or any sort of like illegal money allocations like around the world? Like you have the Cayman Islands destroyed, Switzerland, the Swiss banking destroyed, the Panama Papers. I think Panama. It's like hard to launder money right now, and Bitcoin is this tool that's used to launder money all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Zero crackdown on it. It just seems odd, doesn't it?
It's tough because it's not tied to a government. You can't, if you want to wage war on Libya, you can do that.
You could put some pressure on Panama. You could put some pressure on the Cayman Islands.
I can overthrow your government.
On Switzerland, but you can't put some pressure on.
Who do I overthrow? A Bitcoin.
Yeah,
you can't overthrow a coin. Yeah.
Yeah.